Hi, beautiful community. Welcome back to another episode of Create Your Joy. And I am so excited to be here with Shruti. Shruti Goel is a life coach on self-love and empowerment. And myself, Ivania Leon, I am a mindset coach and a purpose coach. So I am so excited to start this episode. And Shruti, can you tell us what we're going to talk about today?
Yes, we're going to talk about one of my favorite songs, which is called One Love by the group Blue. And I just want to share that the original version of this song, One Love, was by Bob Marley and the Wailers. And oh my gosh, I do know that there are certain songs that are so deep and so beautiful that they are reimagined again and again in different generations. For me, this is one of those songs. And I've chosen the version by Blue because that's the one that I kind of grew up listening. And in fact, the one that I was really introduced to was a version of One Love that was made in Hindi, in my native language.
Wow.
And it was in this Bollywood movie. It's a very, kind of a romantic song of all things, but they did a great job with the song and dance number. But I find that when I listen to the Blue version and now looking at the lyrics, it gives me a completely different vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, kind of thinking about this earlier, that this song to me is a song about self-love. And so I had to bring it here to share. And again, as we have said, one of our joys is creating this podcast together. So again, if you enjoy it, please like and subscribe it so you can receive notifications about our new episodes that come out. And let's get started, because this is our hidden treasure. These songs that are both musically so close to us, and then when we look at the words and understand what the words mean, we are able to just go into another dimension with the power of these songs. So I'm going to get started with the first verse, and it says, it's kind of funny how life can change, can flip 180 in a matter of days. Sometimes love works in mysterious ways. One day you wake up gone without a trace. And I like this verse because it's talking about this very important quality to life, that from the moment we're born to the moment we die, it's all about change. And yet it is one of the hardest parts of our life, is no matter how many changes we go through, the next one feels yet more painful than the last one. And I think it's the work of our lifetime. And in fact, that need to change and become more adaptable is, I think, the whole purpose of life, is to see what heights we can reach by becoming more and more adaptable. And so in the words where it says can flip 180 in a matter of days, yes, it's so true. Love especially is one of those things that works in somewhat mysterious ways, in the sense that we see this in romantic relationships all the time, where someone is so deeply passionate about another person. And then in a matter of months or sometimes years, this happens with celebrity weddings, for example, that love is gone without a trace. You don't even know what happened. People are fighting and warring, like they never had any love between them. And I love this next verse. So this particular song has so many affirmations, in the form of this chorus that is such a long chorus that I absolutely adore it. So it says, I refuse to give up. I refuse to give in. You're my everything. And so, from the romantic song perspective, it's basically saying, I'm not going to give up on our relationship. You're my everything. And I like to think that, if I was able to talk um, to my wise self that's deep within, or to my inner child especially, that I would want to say these words to that part of myself, to say, I refuse to give up, I refuse to give in, you're my everything. Because when that inner child is at peace, you're able to integrate all these different parts of yourself. I don't want to give up. I don't want to give in. So everybody sing. And I love this because it's like the mantra for our entire podcast is everybody sing or listen to music in order to remind themselves one love for the mother's pride, one love for the times we cried, one love, gotta stay alive, I will survive. So in these first few lines of the second part of the chorus, this idea that it's all one love. If we think about it, we kind of divide it up into, well, this is Valentine's Day and it's romantic love. And this is Mother's Day and it's love for mothers. And this is Father's Day and it's love for fathers. And, my traditions are Indian. We also have a brother and sister day. It's called Rakhi. So there are all these ways in which the word love is divided up, and yet it is all one. It is this beautiful ocean of compassion and kindness. And, yes, we can take one drop from it and somehow say that it's separate, but it's not. All of it is beautiful and flowing. And one love, gotta stay alive, I will survive. And I really think that means that, you're part of that one love as well. And so it's your duty to figure out how you're going to stay alive within this world, and not just stay alive but thrive. I will survive, I'll get through this. And I really think that this part of the song is meant for when we find ourselves stuck and alone in a situation that feels overwhelming and that we feel like it will never end. And yet, if we remind ourselves that it's all one love, gotta stay alive, I will survive. One love for the city streets, one love for the hip hop beats, one love, I do believe one love is all we need. And I just love this part of the song because it's talking about, joining. From my perspective, it's talking about joining people that, are on the city streets, that live in inner city, to everyone else that lives in the suburbs or elsewhere. And one love for the hip hop beats. There was a time when hip hop was not as beloved a musical tradition as it is today. And so, yes, it is part of that beautiful body of music that we have access to. And again, this reminder that, I do believe one love is all we need. So I love this song, so I'm probably going to sing it at one point or another. But I wanted to turn it over to you, Ivania, to reflect or share a little bit more with us.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti. When you share this song with me and the video that came with, I listened to it. I look at the video and I didn't recognize the song that is played by Bob Marley, right?
Yes.
And then but the thing is the way that it's been presented, I guess, and the way the music comes in and the way it's sing, it makes a difference.
Yes.
And it makes it different in different ways. And one of them to me, because of course now when we were talking about right before we started recording our podcast, we talked about the song, and then you started singing, how it goes with Bob Marley. And I go, wait a second, I heard that song before.
Yes.
And I heard it before, but I never, that's the thing, I listened to a lot of songs, but I never paid attention to the lyrics, because that's not what I was looking for at the time.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's what things go. And I mentioned to you also that, the song with, what's her name? Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You, which is my favorite,
Yes.
it became such a hit. But actually, what's the name of the lady that's created it and sing it to, I can't remember her name at the moment, but it's not Whitney Houston. It's this lady. And anyways, it will come to me. So when she sings it, it wasn't as impactful, or the music that was behind it, it wasn't as impactful as Whitney Houston. And it could be like a totally different song. And
Exactly.
I just realized that, wow, like this is the song that is very famous for by Bob Marley. And I never
Yeah.
heard it by, by the group Blue,
Yeah.
but it got me in a state of relaxation
Yes.
and reflection in my life.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's also, it depends when you listen to it, what mindset are you on and what
Exactly.
journey are you on at the same time. So yes, so I wanted to say that I really like it. I really like how you emphasize that we have to be adaptable to changes, because
Yes.
some people don't like the changes, and it's so funny because it's all about life. Since the
Exactly.
day we were born, it's about changing,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop. And I really like how you said it, like we had to be very adaptable. And what I liked about this song when I started listening to do, it's like it takes it very lightly, like, oh, it's kind of funny. So
Yeah.
it's not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
It goes in very smooth.
Yeah.
It says how life can change and it can flip in a matter of days. And I really like that because every day it's different. We feel
Exactly.
different, we think different, and we do different things sometimes differently that sometimes we're not aware of it, or sometimes we become aware of because it is more pronounced, like you had to change that.
Exactly.
And then it says it sometimes works in mysterious way. One day you wake up without a trace. I refuse to give up. What I think, like for me, what it's telling me is that yes, everything can be taken away
Yeah.
at one moment,
Yeah.
but I refuse to give up in myself,
Exactly.
in my feelings, in who I
Yes.
am, and what I'm capable of doing, or what I'm capable to learn. Or like you said, I'm adaptable person. I refuse to give that up because I can adapt. I refuse to give in. Like
Yeah.
it can break you down, or especially when when you're sick, or when someone gets sick, you take
Yes.
a pause, but you're not giving up in life. You're not
Exactly.
giving up in yourself. Says, okay,
Yes.
my body needs to rest. My body needs to do, okay, I will take a pause, but I
Yeah.
will continue. So everybody sings, and then it goes, everybody sings one love. And I think love, it's in a way that I want to say or see it or say it, it's universal,
Yeah.
because we had the same pains but in different forms. We
Exactly.
suffer. We've been into pain. But love doesn't change. That's one thing that doesn't change.
Mm.
It's always whatever it is, that love that you have felt within yourself is always there. That one doesn't change. Everything can change and you adapt, and you can, find a ways to make it easier on yourself for to adapt it, a new way, a new lifestyle. But love is the one that carries you through.
Mm.
And I really like where it says, oh, the affirmations, one love. So for the
Yeah.
mother's pride, for the
Yeah.
times we cried, one love that stay alive. I
Yeah.
will survive. And I think love is what survives at the end, because they can take everything away from you.
Yeah.
No one can take the love of yourself.
Exactly.
No one. No matter where you're at, no matter what you're feeling on the surface, or what you're seeing in the surface.
Yeah.
That love will always survive, and that love, no one can take it away from you. I really love that. Sorry,
You.
maybe I went into deep in, and I take it too long to say it, but I really love that, and I wanted to say that. And I'm gonna jump into the next verse where it said, late at night, I'm still wide awake. And this is one more that I can take.
Mm.
I thought my heart could never break, never break. Now I know that one big mistake.
Yeah.
I refuse to give up. I refuse to give up. You are my everything. That's right. Come on. I don't want to give up. It goes into the verse again, so it can affirm. So I don't want to
Yeah.
everyone sing. And I really like when it invites everyone to sing because it's bringing more energy to it.
Yeah.
But I really like how it says, late at night, I'm still wide awake. I think for me, when we're going through something difficulties or some challenges, or when you have like when somebody breaks your heart in a sense, late nights becomes your friend,
Yes.
right? And at the same time, it can also become your enemy. But this one is bringing you into, I've learned my lesson, I had my heartbreak, it was a mistake, but then that's how you're moving forward. And it's a state of reflection because it's bringing you to be more awakened, to be more aware. And I really love that because it's like holding you in a safe space. It's
Mm.
it's just you, your mind, and your soul a trying to make an understanding of what life is going through and how
Right.
love is trying to heal every wound or every
Mm.
situation, or how that love is giving you the power, the encouragement to move forward from any challenges that you're going through. I think that and to me, that's what it was speaking to me. And when I listened to it, it put me like in a state of very relaxation. But you know, I never thought it was the same song.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of music and the beauty of every single person that we can bring this gift in different ways. And at the end of the day, it's love.
Well said, Ivania. And actually, before you go on, I had just wanted to reflect on just this verse, the late at night, I'm still wide awake. And feeling this is one more than I can take. And I just wanted to reflect on the second part, that when you feel like you're stuck and night after night, you're waking up and thinking the same things, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I am so tired of this. I can't take this anymore. That that frustration, that need to give up is exactly when you have to step inside, and go inward to find the strength, um, and to remind yourself that our heart wasn't created so it could stay whole all our life. It was created so it could be broken open and grow wider and bigger and more joyful and able to contain more joy. Because if we only had a heart that could contain the joy that we had when we were, when we were young, we wouldn't grow throughout our life. We wouldn't. And think about from when we were kids to how we are now. How many more people, circumstances, things have we come to love? And would we have been able to do that if we had said, I just give up, at some point when the trouble arose? And I think it is the very nature of our heart to be broken open with our tears, with the sense that when it breaks, when we hear it shattering, and then kind of like that Japanese art of kintsugi, we put it back together with some gold in the cracks, and it becomes a little wider than it was before, and it contains some wisdom in it. And then with it, when we reach the end of our life, it is far greater, almost as big as an ocean, that contains all different kinds of love and heartbreak and love and heartbreak. And we begin to see the rhythms of that too. That, where there is great love, there will be great heartbreak, but you will always find something else to love. And this goes back to what you were saying earlier about love being that one unchanging concept, that one unchanging thing in a life full of changes. And so, what if you could just cultivate that love and give it an anchor inside your heart? Then you can always be adaptable because you're counting on the reserves of love that you're building deep within. And I think that is such a powerful point that you made, about love being unchanging. So anyway, so I found this verse that you just discussed to be so powerful, on our quest for self-love and letting us know why it's worth it, because it's actually helping you, have the heartbreak and heal from it, and have the heartbreak and heal from it, and grow a little bit wiser and a little bit more able to contain joy.
Yeah, you know what when you were saying broken open, I really love that what you said, because what it took my mind into, you know, we really don't, we're not able, no one is able to measure love,
Yeah.
right? And we don't know how big it is. We don't know how extended it is. We just don't, we can even imagine.
Yeah.
Our imagination just would take us just to a certain degree. But when you say broken open, I really like that, because that love that you thought you had for yourself and is broken, then you're able to it will expand it. But it's not that you
Yes.
expand it through your eyes, it will be expanding it. But
Yes.
behind it, I think is huge,
Yeah.
right? And I really love that, because because that, for the lack of a better word, I want to say, like, it start to span that love. Every time you broke it, everything is get broken and open, it expand and
Yeah.
expand. And then you start to see how actually love is huge.
Yes.
And then you brought me to that, because we really cannot measure that love,
Yeah.
right? With anything, we cannot. But with it, I really like the fact that now when we're working in our self-love, and why it's so important to love ourselves, because loving yourself gives you your values, gives you your worthy, gives you that respect for yourself. And then at the same time, when you learning all these things, that is actually a mirror to the world. That means you're giving the other people grace for them to learn on their own way and on their own pace. And that's what it takes, one love,
Yeah.
because it's the mirror of that love.
Exactly.
That's why
Beautiful.
loving yourself is so important to me, because it will ground you,
Yeah.
into who you are.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's really beautiful. I really like to say broken open. Broken.
Yeah. And actually you touched on something that, made me think, how love is infinite. And so it's almost like you're over the course of your lifetime, your task is to make your vessel of love, which is your heart,
Yeah.
slowly and gradually bigger so it can contain more and allow more love to flow in. Because it's like we come into the world with a certain amount of love, and then these circumstances on the outside kind of challenge our ability to love ourselves and others
Yeah.
through the most difficult circumstances. And if we're able to do it, guess what? We have just made the capacity of this container larger, and it can hold more love. It can allow more to flow in. And that when we start to anchor in self-love and look at the world from that standpoint, we only then begin to see how infinite love is. It's as infinite as our universe. It's the very fabric of the universe. And I think this song just like helps us appreciate that so much. And I think that reminder that it's all one love, what we feel for our moms, what moms feel about us, what we feel for a lover, what that lover feels for us, what we feel when we see a child or a puppy or a kitten. And that all of these different kinds of love at their very core are the same thing. And when we suffer heartbreak, it's just inviting us to expand that love even further. So it's a really, really lovely song.
It is.
One of
Thank
my
you for,
favorites.
thank you for bringing this song in a different way, so I can actually expand my own
Yeah,
perspective, and and expand, the way we think and the way we see things. And one beautiful thing that I thank you for giving me the word is infinite love.
Yeah.
And that container, I really like the metaphor you use, that container, it's expand and that container gets bigger and bigger. And yeah, love comes in different ways, in different shapes and different forms. But at the end of it, it's love.
Exactly.
And when you start with your own love, that I think for me, since I truly believe that loving yourself first
Yeah.
will give you the power and the understanding to love your neighbor. And you're
Exactly.
experiencing yourself, your
Yeah.
feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your thought processing, how you responding instead of reacting. So that's a lot of work. But then do I start to understand the other people? When you
Exactly.
start to expand your love to others. I really
Exactly.
love that. I really love this song. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention.
Yeah, you got it, Ivania. And I was just going to share one other thing. I don't know if you would like to, but there's a third part of the chorus
Yes. Go ahead.
that just says, "Baby, just love me, love me, love me." And I
Yes.
wondered if you would, just read it out for us because it's just a couple of lines. And it's just my favorite part because, again, this song is all about just bring in the love, kind of let it flow.
Yes. It says, baby, just love me.
Yeah,
Love me, love me.
yeah.
Baby, just hold me. Hold me, hold me, hold me. Oh, love me, love me, love me. One love. And it continues against, baby, just love me, love me, love me.
Yeah. I love that. And actually, this is my favorite part to sing as well because it is just so musical. And I'll just have to sing it for a moment. Baby, just love me, love me, love me. Baby, just hold me, hold me, hold me. Oh, love me, love me, love me. And in it, there are just a couple of simple lines. And it talks about both, whether it's a lover for them to love me and hold me. And but also for ourselves, let's say we're waiting for that love to arrive from the outside, we can still hold ourselves through it. And it's the idea that whoever is near you, or if there's no one, then you do it for you, is you love yourself and you hold yourself through this. And that's how you too are part of that one love. Um,
Yeah, that's beautiful. When you were singing, baby, just love me, when you were singing, of course, when you're saying your tone, or everyone, whoever sings, that tone changes, that
yeah.
frequency that goes out. Because when you were saying that and I received it, I totally imagined myself like holding myself.
Oh,
And like it's holding myself and looking myself in the mirror and say, just love me.
yeah,
Just love me. And
exactly.
then one thing that I really love, because one of the techniques also that we use in coaching is you give them to look in the mirror so they can see themselves and start that relationship with their
Yes.
inner dialogue.
Yeah.
And when you were singing, I totally imagined myself in the mirror telling myself, just love me, just love.
This is a great mirror song. You can stand in front of the mirror and sing it.
Thank you for that. That's
Um,
really beautiful.
yeah. And I just had one other thing that I wanted to add here, which is that, the purpose of our podcast is to both illuminate the lyrics of songs that we find inspiring and also share a little bit about that coaching perspective that's familiar to both you and I. And, I think one of the most important gifts that we could give to our audience is a line of inquiry so that people can begin their own exploration. This is a question that I often get in my coaching work is, well, I can't seem to access my self-love. How do I get started? And so I always turn that back around to them. And I said, first of all, what does self-love mean to you? And so I invite everyone who's listening to this to just take out a piece of paper or make a note in your phone and just go inward, be with yourself in quiet for a few minutes And just think of the word self-love. What does it mean to me? What does it speak to me? When, what are the moments in which I'm able to show love to myself? And sometimes it could be in the smallest things, like when I take a drink of water in the middle of my workday. That could be someone's way of showing love to themselves. Um, or when I, take a moment in the morning and just enjoy a fresh cup of coffee all by myself, being alone with my thoughts. For someone else, it could be the first thing they do every morning, which is a yoga routine or a walk or something else that nurtures their physical body. Or for another person, it could be something in their nightly routine, a relaxing bubble bath that gets their body just getting ready to sleep very deeply and peacefully. So I would love it if someone, if our audience will take the time to figure out, what does self-love mean to you? And secondly, if they're ever having a hard time accessing any kind of self-love, I use self-love hacks all the time. And by that, I mean, one of the easiest ways to access love for what you already have is by writing down, and actually, you create a spiral in this particular exercise. You create a spiral and you begin the words I am grateful for, and you go around the spiral and you keep writing things until that spiral is full of the things that you're grateful for. And then ask the question to yourself, you know, what does love mean to me? And you'll find that gratitude is one of the fastest ways to come into self-love. And another hack that I can share also is, sometimes you can access self-love by giving compassion or kindness to someone else. So for example, if you find it hard, or if your mind is telling you that you would be selfish to have, to enjoy a cup of tea just for yourself, well, maybe you make it for your partner too. And you just make it with a lot of love, offer it to your partner or to your best friend, and then sit down. And when you drink it yourself, offer with each sip that you're giving love to yourself. So these are a couple of different ways that I wanted to share with our audience to, find that space of love within yourself. And that it is just one journal activity, a few words or a little action, right in front of you. That is the distance. And that remains the case our entire life. So it's a really good news story. And, and when you find that you are really distant from that love, then music, my last resort to anything in life, is music, because music has this power to bring us back to reality and the truth again and again and again. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I don't know, Ivania, if you have any parting words before we bring our episode to a close.
No, I really liked your first step method for hacking and how to access your self-love. I encourage everyone to practice,
Yes,
be actively active on your self-love.
exactly. Well said, Ivania. Absolutely. Because it's so important to come out of that autopilot mode that most of us adults especially live our lives in. And anytime you can bring active participation and shine your attention on your own self, that is when you're breaking your heart open to the next level. Wonderful. Well, with that, yeah, we want to invite you to engage with us, share songs that inspire you. Tell us if you journaled, what were some of the insights that came up for you, if you feel comfortable, and we can't wait to connect with you again soon.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
for now,
Thank you.
create your joy, find your joy.
Yeah, love it. Bye.
Bye.